All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Star Wars Mark of Balance. My name is Mark, and I'm coming at you live from the new studio. Just moved into the new place, and I'm super excited to get back into the show with you guys. I have to hold my microphone like a late night host because it doesn't fit on the stand, and the camera it doesn't work. So we're gonna do it like this. Hopefully, it works out for you guys. I'm still trying a bunch of new things. So today we're gonna get into the third episode of the Bad Batch. I think it's called Replacements. And this episode is definitely split into two different parts, the A story and the B story. The Bad Batch actually taking a backseat in this storyline to the Crosshair and Imperial storyline. And I'm definitely going to focus on the Crosshair and the Imperial storyline because the Bad Batch part was definitely the weaker part of the episode. Not even definitely, like absolutely the weaker part of the episode. But the Imperial part of the episode was super cool, I thought. The whole theme behind it is, are volunteer soldiers better or are like genetically programmed soldiers better? Kind of bringing up this argument that volunteerism earns more loyalty than like putting a chip in someone's head and being like, do this or like we get rid of you. And it was really cool seeing different races and different people in clone armor compared to seeing D. Bradley Baker's clones in the armor. And I always thought that was cool when they did that, you know, with Obi-Wan when he wore clone armor, or when Cad Bane did that one thing where he destroyed that poor clone trooper. He was so cool, and he shot him right in the face and took his armor. But I'm excited to see more of that moving forward with new people being in clone armor, well, soon to be stormtrooper armor. And so Crosshair is put in charge of this new clone unit, and Tarkin, once again, he has a hard-on for this specific Saw Gerrera camp. He needs to take out this singular camp again. He sends them to go there, and the whole battle sequence is brutal. It really is. This one psychopath has a flamethrower. They're just always strapped to the flamethrower. No matter who they're attacking, flamethrower. So watch out for them because they're a real freak show. But what I really liked about the battle is it shows the transition into the Imperial troopers and away from the Republic troopers. There's like subtle changes to the weapons that make them look more Imperial. And the bolts they fire are now red instead of blue. And it's kind of cool because Saw Gerrera's people are using the Republic weapons and they're still shooting blue, but now the Imperial weapons are shooting red. And it kind of shows dark side, light side. Even though Han Solo shoots red bolts, I still think it's pretty cool to show that transition. And by the end, Crosshair just becomes an executioner, shoots one of Saw Gerrera's people, tells them to execute the rest, kills his own guy because he questioned the order. Good soldiers follow orders. I don't know. That was kind of good, I thought. And the music throughout it's really great. I really like the dark tone and feeling of the music. Reminds me of Revenge of the Sith, obviously. And Season 7 of the Clone Wars, The Siege of Mandalore. That music was very Blade Runner, synth, deep-esque. Once again, I don't have the musical terms for this, but you know what I'm saying. And so when they get back to Kamino, Crosshair goes to the room, and the room's a lot different. It's more uniform than when the Bad Batch occupied those barracks. And you kind of see him see the tick marks on the wall, and then he sits down, and he's kind of processing it. So it's kind of cool to see that he's not completely gone, and he's still, you know, there's a little bit of something in there. Just like when Rex, at the end of Clone Wars, had to do Order 66, but you saw he was crying. He literally didn't want to do it, but he was forcing himself to do it. So I kind of see some parallels with Crosshair there, so that's pretty cool. And then in the end, the Kaminoans, they have this really cool plot. They're saying there's this next phase of a clone trooper, this superior soldier, and how they need one specific person to come back. You know, it's their property. We need one clone to come back, or something like that. I don't know if it's Boba Fett that they need because their genetic material's running out, or if it's just another clone we don't know about, or maybe it's just another clone we don't know about. I don't know, but it's really cool. I love that the Kaminoans are secretly plotting in this, and I'm excited to see where that storyline goes. And overall, the Crosshair and the Imperial side of this story was super interesting. I'm glad that the show doesn't need to rely on the Bad Batch or focus on the Bad Batch for it to be good, or for an episode to feel like it's moving the story along. So even though I think the Bad Batch's portion of this episode is very weak, it is promising that in the future, the story doesn't have to focus on them for the show to be good. The Bad Batch story arc, I mean, it was cool. It did like these tie back to the Empire Strikes Back. They're wearing the respirators. There's this creature on the ship destroying the electrical circuitry. So that was cute. Omega somehow is allowed to go out on this mission with them, even though it's extremely dangerous. They're like, no, she has to come out because she's part of the story, and she has to be part of the squad. So, I don't know. I was like, okay. But it definitely felt like an afterthought kind of story. The focus was definitely the Imperials. They just had to do this to fill time for the episode. I feel the main things I took away from the episode from the Bad Batch side was Wrecker hit his head, and he kept holding it on the side where the inhibitor chip usually is. So I'm thinking that inhibitor chips are life-threatening if they malfunction, as we saw with 5s in the Order 66 arc back in Clone Wars. So it'd be interesting to see if this is detrimental to Wrecker's health over time after hitting his head and hurting his inhibitor chip. That would be really compelling, and I'm excited to see if they do follow that story arc, because they were really, sorry for this, beating us over the head with this foreshadowing of, oh, my head hurts, oh, my head hurts, oh, my head hurts. So I think they're trying to plant the seed there as well. And the end when Omega gets her own room, that was sweet. That was nice. I liked it. Once again, her theme, the music, it was all nice. But overall, I wish, if anything, I would have been fine if they just stuck with the Imperial story for the whole 30-minute episode and really fleshed it out over what they did with the Bad Batch. But it was passable. It was okay. So overall, I do think it was the weakest episode of the 3. But that's not to say it's not good, because I did really enjoy the Imperial Crosshair arc. And I liked how the Bad Batch mentioned Crosshair. You know, they didn't just think of it as an afterthought. They said, oh, we left our brother behind. Oh, there's Crosshair's gear. They kind of kept them in the mix, which I liked. And the other gripe I have with the episode is the Bad Batch, right now, I don't feel the chemistry between them. I don't know if anyone else feels it. But like Wrecker and Hunter, they talk, but it doesn't feel like they've been comrades for all these years. Like, they're literally only friends with each other. The Bad Batch is literally only friends with their own people. And Tech and Echo, literally every line, they're just bantering. Like, that's it. And I get Echo's new to the squad, but you'd think it would kind of start forming a little more. Hopefully they'll build off that. Maybe I'm being a little too judgmental too early. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's all I got for this episode. Hope you like the Johnny Carson host mic thing I'm doing. But hope you guys liked the episode. Hope you guys liked the new studio. And may the force be with you. I'll see you later.